All right, we're live once again for the Wednesday show. An hour late or so, but it's all good. MTK had to go into the office today.
And I got my fall colors on today. I'm already ready for fall.
Hell yeah, festivities. Let
Yeah,
me
gotta bring
focus
that.
my camera here.
I gotta be the one to bring the swag to the show.
The swag to the show. Bring some
Yeah,
swag to the show.
Harry Punch, white tee, black tee, white tee,
White tea,
black
black
tee.
tea. Sometimes I fucking dress up, but not too often.
Yeah,
I wore a
We
fucking
wanna-
button up probably one time on the show.
One day we should do like a gimmick where we wear like a tuxedo,
A tuxedo gimmick for an award
Yeah,
show or something.
like Step Brothers and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Maybe for the second annual award show this year.
all right, there we
Because
go.
we already had our first one in the books. So for the
Yeah, that's
second
true.
one. Yeah, we
Yeah,
already got
okay.
one in the books.
This time we'll get a guest. We'll get someone to come
There we
fuck
go.
with it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I was gonna say we UFC Vegas 108. I mean, Tatsura did what he needed to do.
Tatsura did what he needed to do. That guy was getting quite a bit of hype, right? The
other
opponent. The thing I'm
Art-
kind of like a little bit burnt out about, like right off the bat, first thing coming to mind off this card. Everybody get off Tyra's dick.
Oh, I wasn't expecting.
Where does like and I'm just like, this is no shade towards Tyra. I feel like they're kind of killing Tyra's buzz a little bit, like by overhyping him. It's a great win. However, he's coming off a loss.
That's expected. You better win those.
Yeah, but it's a great win. Like there's nothing. It was a flawless performance. You know what I mean? I'm trying to say it like that. Like it was a great performance.
Yeah.
However, you are coming off a loss to Brandon Royval, a guy who hasn't really been able to cross that territory into the title, right?
Right.
I know that there's the age difference with Tyra and all that stuff, so he's a young prospect. I'm not completely unaware to where this claim is coming from, where Dominic Cruz, Henry Cejudo, all saying future champion. But it's just like, quit hyping it up, bro. He got to win. Let's get him his next fight. Like, what are we doing talking about, oh, he's a future champion? Like, do you just want to be the first one or something? Like, I mean, do you not have any other important shit to say? Like, what is the significance of being like, Tyra's a future champion? I mean, he's coming off a good win, but let's get him another fight. Let's lay off the fucking title talks. He's 1-1 in his last two. I mean, I think you're putting a lot of pressure on the kid, too. Now this kid, in his next media day, they're going to come up to him and be like, hey, so like Dominic Cruz thinks you could be a champion, Henry Cejudo, so how about this title talk? It's like the speed run.
But
Let this kid fucking develop.
I agree with that, but they were doing that before he fought this one. They were doing that when he fought Brandon.
And so is it every time he wins just because like they're going to start like, you know, hyping him up? It's kind of like annoying.
Yeah, because I forgot wasn't he supposed to fight Albazi?
That was his original opponent, yeah, but Albazi
And
pulled out.
so that now, if he would have won that fight, all right, then let's talk a little bit more. Like, let's give him a that's crazy, Joshua Van's right there. I would be like, Manel Cape, Kai Kara France. I'd like to see him fight one of those guys. You get this one, you get that win, you get a Albazi win, and you get that win. Now let's get him, try to give him again the championship.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think he needs to go like on a 3-4 fight win streak.
Yeah, I just think that it's kind of like, let's talk about some other stuff aside from like something that's so fucking like, I feel like a title shot for Tyra right now is like 3 steps, ahead here. So why are we talking about it now? Why is that the biggest talking point? Like, this kid's a future champ. It's kind of annoying to me.
See, honestly, I think he beats Joshua Van.
Shit, I mean, it's a good fight,
That's a good fight.
I'm not here to say that who I think Tyra's gonna beat,
Yeah, and I would say this, see, and that's kind of what they did with. Look where Joshua Van is at right now. That still blows my mind.
Exactly. But you see how they, like, imagine if as soon as Van beat the next guy after Charles Johnson, they weren't saying like, oh, title contender.
He lost, you mean? After he lost.
After he lost to Charles, and then the next win, they let him kind of like, build back up a little bit. I'm just saying, Tyra, let him build back up. Stop talking about the title right now. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary conversation for him to even have to answer. He's a young guy. He's coming off a win, a great performance. Let him build confidence. I think he's 25.
Is he? Yeah, he's young.
I'm about to pull up the chat real quick. So I did want to just mention, yes, I know I didn't stream the card. Maybe it was stupid of me in hindsight, right? Maybe it was a little stupid of me in hindsight.
But who's saying you didn't stream it?
Oh, I'm just because I've been streaming every week.
Yeah.
I kind of like down this card. Shout out to Andrew. Thanks for tuning in.
What up, homeboy?
And it turned out to be a banger, of course, just like that coincidence. I don't stream it because I think it's a shit card, and then people talk about this as like card of the year. So yes, I know I didn't fucking stream it, but it was a good card. Part of my thing though is, this about me. I like fights with stuff to it. I'm not really a guy who just wants to sit back and watch two guys fight. Just like it's not as entertaining to me personally. If I'm just keeping it real. So yes, it was a great card. But it wasn't like even while I wasn't streaming, I was just kind of listening to it in the background, hearing the crazy fights unfold. I wasn't like posted up on the couch, like watching these bloodbaths. Well,
here's a good example. The Rebecca Chris Duncan, that doesn't really have any magnitude after the fact. It was a great fight.
It was a good fight, yeah, I guess.
Are we now putting Chris Duncan against Joe Alvarez? With that win?
I mean, Chris Duncan is the one who won, correct?
Right. Are we putting up against Grant Dawson?
I don't have the rankings in front of me. It seems like
but these guys are 14, 15. You know what I mean? Like, are we giving a Michael fucking Chandler? Like, is he fighting Patty? I agree with what you're saying. Like, what's gonna happen after this? He's probably gonna get another, guy that has a name on him, but is not in the rankings.
Mm-hmm. Sure, probably right.
I mean, like a Ribovics.
Yeah, and it was a good win. But I will say this, and it
was a good fight. It was a good fight.
It was a good fight.
That it was.
But I don't know even how to land on this one, but it's definitely on my mind, so I'm just gonna share it with the world. I don't always like to watch fights like that. Like how Ilya Topuria was kind of saying about Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje. I did think that was a little bit more technical, but he was kind of downing it, saying it's just a bar fight. And for me, the Rebecca and the Chris Duncan low-key is a little bit of a bar fight. It is a technical fight. They are using a lot of heart in there. But it's really just a lot of punching.
It's a war.
It's a war. But, I really like to see the guys who are able to slip punches, fire off good counters, rip good shots to the body, drop their opponents with crazy shots. I don't think there was too many drops in that fight, was there? It was just a bloodbath. They're just standing there, punching,
banging it out,
bearing their soul.
And that goes back to what you said. The casual fight fan, that's what they want.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what sells tickets.
I'm just saying it doesn't appeal to me.
Like, cause this thing,
because it does get hyped up. Like that was like everybody's talking about that they love it, and I like it too. But I would like choose fucking so many more fights over that one.
Yeah, I mean. It's better than like a boring fight.
It's better than a boring fight.
So someone getting held against the fence. You're like, dude, fucking, can we get some action here? Like something. So I mean, there's levels to it too, right? So like if we're looking at a championship fight, we're looking at a top 3, top 5 guys. You're gonna get more of the technical fighters, right? Mm-hmm. You're talking about 2 guys that are just entertaining fighters. The matchmakers know what they're doing. They're putting these 2 guys together because they know it's going to be a war. They knew the Ribovics was going to be a war. Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like the Neil Magny was more technical to me.
Yeah. And it just shows more. Like, yeah, I like the Neil Magny fight a little bit more too, to be honest with you.
And he was losing, and he fucking turned it around. Mm-hmm. That was dope.
It has more to it, Right. But I don't want to down too heavy on it. I just want to put it out there that shouldn't even be like. I mean, I don't know. Part of me cringes too because I know what happens to the fighter. You do this on such a low level. Like you said, he's not going to get a ranked opponent, and all these types of things, right? But he bared his soul. He took off life points, fight of the night for $50K. So and then he gets celebrated and. I get the celebration, believe me, I do, because it's what the sport is.
It's what the sport is.
The wars should be really taking place at a higher level in the sport. That's what I'll have to say. Wars should be taking place at a higher level. At this low level, when you're not even ranked and shit like that, and you're going through wars like this, and like you said, coming off that war, you're probably not even going to get a ranked opponent. It's so unnecessary. Your skills should be better than that. Because what's going to happen when you get to the top? You can't even make it to the top because you had so many wars with the amateurs.
Yeah, but I think this is a double-edged sword, right? 2 things can be right at the same time. if you're the fighter, if you're Chris Duncan, if you're Rebecca, you're like, man, I look good in the UFC eyes. I help get more viewers. That's what they want. That's the name of the game, right? The more people that are watching ESPN, the more advertisers are getting more money. The more UFC is being able to get money. The more they're being able to build their brand. So I mean, in the UFC and probably these fighters' eyes, they look good to the UFC.
Of course, to the UFC. And that's one of the problems, is that these fighters will choose like the clout of the UFC over their own health, over their own money, you know. And it's not about looking good to the UFC. Make yourself undeniable to the UFC. If you're in a position to have to look good to the UFC, you're in a wrong position to begin with. The UFC should be demanding you. You know what I mean? And but not by doing the wars. Yeah, not by doing wars.
But I guess too, I'm glad that we're agreeing, but we're not agreeing, but we're agreeing. Because these guys, they're just fighting for their place. Like they're just like, I'm just glad to be here. Pay me. I got family to feed. Like Chris Duncan's post-fight speech. That's pretty emotional.
What'd he say?
Basically, he was like, dude, like, this doesn't mean nothing to me, man. Fucking what happened to me growing up, this is nothing. This is easy for me. This is like...
I heard that.
I cherish coming in here almost. Like, dude, that's like, damn, all right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the dude's been through some shit. You know what I mean? So, like, for him, this is almost an outlet. It's an outlet of, like, a brutal sport. But for him, it meant something completely different. He got the win, got to put money in his pocket. I think he had a baby. So,
Yeah.
I look at that side of things too.
That definitely has part of it. So,
right.
But I guess hopefully he can avoid some wars going forward. Both of
let me
those
ask
guys,
you this.
those boys keep getting in wars.
Yeah, Rebecca had Turtle right before. And so here, look at my Prize Picks money. The winners. Rebecca got me 46 and a half punches. I was over. Neil Magny, I thought Neil Magny fucked me over with that submission. I had him at 40 and a half. I didn't, bro. He had over 80 significant strikes. It's like he was on the ground most of the time. I literally I almost turned it off. I was like, nope, Neil Magny fucking lost it to me. Never mind.
But he secured it for you.
He secured it.
Yeah, that was some good wins right there.
And then I had the Rebecca 42 and a half over, and that was a brawl. I knew those were going to be brawls. I was worried when he got cut. I was like, uh-oh, they may call this.
Yeah, but those were good ones. Those were like kind of that was a good card to bet on because the matchups, you kind of knew what the matchmakers were going for.
Yeah, and we knew we were going to be standing and begging. The Neil Magny, I was like, ooh.
Some matchups are a little bit harder to predict, to be honest.
And so look at this, rolls right into the Rebovics and Brenner fight, though. That's the same storyline, bro.
It is the same storyline, for sure. Same storyline for sure.
I honestly was less impressed now with Rebovics. That's crazy, though. And he got the win.
Yes. I've been less impressed with Rebovics because he's done this 3 times now, and again, it's my take. When you're doing these wars with just these average fighters, it says less about you than you think.
I mean, it's like if you gauge them, like, yeah, you put on a war, you can stand and bang, you're really good. But then if you start looking at those guys like Joe Alvarez, I'll put him in that conversation. The dude's looking elite.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Joel Alvarez. Did he fight last weekend? I don't think he did.
No.
Why do you keep mentioning
and he was supposed to. I thought he was supposed to fight Grant Dawson, and he got called off.
Okay,
but and even with Grant Dawson, Grant Dawson I like too for any of these guys because he's gonna get you on the ground. He's a fucking submission specialist. So I'm more interested to see once these guys get into that upper tier. Daniel Zellhuber, he just comes off a loss. Like we know that who does Zellhuber lose to? The OG, Michael Johnson.
Yes.
And see, and this is interesting enough. I liked Michael Johnson's performance because it was very skillful. It was very tactful.
I liked his performance as well.
Right?
Yeah, big fan.
He was thinking like, all right, I'm gonna get you in the body. All right,
it's not just we're gonna fucking collide and throw 12 punches and then back up and collide and throw 12 punches and just hope who wins the exchange. Now, also just to contrast what you're kind of the point that you're speaking of right now in a way, with not being as high on Rebovics, I might be overhyping my point a little bit, so level me down if I am. But I'm just trying to contrast things. You know, take a Rebovix and take a Protez, right?
Yeah.
Protez's rise, Rebovix's rise, so to speak. Now, a lot of times when both of their fights get announced, a lot of the fans hype them up really heavily, right? Oh, Rebovix is fighting. We know what we're getting. Like, Protez is fighting. We know what we're getting. But when you really look at the two, like, Protez is like, when you talk about levels, like levels ahead of Rebovix. But Rebovix gets hyped up by the fans, and it almost tricks people into thinking, like, I promise you, bro, if Rebovix finds himself in a spot against a ranked contender like Protez, people are going to think that's an even fight.
Well, like Joe Alvarez.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying, like, that's what I battle with, is like, these guys are getting hyped up, and then it almost gets confused. Like, people will start talking about these guys as elite fighters.
Yeah.
And then they just get dropped fucking, you know what I mean? Like, fraud checked in a way.
Well, and I think too, that's why I'm glad we have some of these discussions, like the welterweight, right? You brought me down to earth a couple times, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm glad that yeah, exactly. You know, and I'm glad that we're kind of like, because people come talk to us about some of these divisions, and I think we should start doing with this with the lightweight, because you and I know enough now about some of these guys in the lightweight. We could probably say 16 to 20, because I think we're pretty on aligned with 16 to 20 in the welterweight. You know, Randy Johnson. I think we both said Randy Johnson 16.
Mm-hmm. Randy Brown.
Right? Randy Brown. I'm sorry. Yeah. My apologies. Mm-hmm. Randy Brown. I know we said Mike Malott 17, 18 maybe.
Something around there. Those are more yours. I haven't mapped out that bottom 15, but I know you like to do that.
Yeah. So, and I think as we do that with this division, you know, and you have this discussion as we're trying to we're educating people.
Mm-hmm. Kind of leveling standards, because a lot of the people kind of just hop on the bandwagon of the Rebovix narrative and just hype them up because of the wars. But I'm kind of speaking about some of the other things I feel like, you know, aren't spoken about.
Well, you've raised my awareness with the Gabriel Bonfim. It was a good example.
Same type of thing, right? They get good finishes, flashy finishes. Dulatov is the latest one.
But when you get to the next level, the next layer of competition, that you don't look as good.
You don't.
And I've learned that from some things you showed me. And Gabriel Bonfim was a prime example versus Stephen Wonderboy.
Yeah.
He couldn't finish him. He almost got finished. Mm-hmm. He still got the win. That's why I think that's a suspect ranking right there, because he may get right out. Mm-hmm. Randy Brown gets in there. That's a good fight to make, to get his ass right in there. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, even and no shade to Mike Malott, because I know the guy. But, you know, Mike Malott with the Neil Magny, everybody knows what happened there. And everybody thought that was Canada's next world champion before he lost.
But I think, so here's a good example. But now he's come. I think that's a lesson you need to learn sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely is a lesson you need to learn. I just feel like the fans, you know, they hype that shit up. Yeah. And it's like, bro, the guy, like, and then, like, once they lose, then it's like, okay, let's put him on the path he probably should have always been on. You know what I'm saying? But, like, because the fan hype, it forces, like, the UFC to almost push them faster.
Of course.
Watch what's going to happen to Dulatov. Everybody's on his dick because he's a model, and he's going to get a fucking ranked opponent real soon. Even though he's got one fight in the UFC.
And that's why I think...
But it's because he's good looking. It's a little ditty if you ask me, bro. Like, fuck the looks. Nobody cares.
I got him at, like, 25 on the welterweights.
Anytime you get a new handsome young buck on the fucking market, these guys just go crazy. Tyra's the latest.
Let me ask you this.
Tyra's the latest.
So what do you think about
Amir Albazi's ugly ass?
No. Shout out to Neil Magny. Hey, shout out to Neil Magny, right?
Shout out to Neil.
Neil got a vet move, bro. Fucking was losing, comes back, gets the fucking submission. I know he got the knockout. My bad, the knockout. But the Kevin Valajos versus Danny Silva. I did not like the way Danny Silva was in there trying to showboat. I'm like,
I didn't really watch it. I'm sorry. It's your take. This is your take. Go ahead.
Prelim gang, stand up.
Yeah, take your floor.
I think I texted you that day too. It was like, hey, prelims. Yeah. I know you're watching this girls fight. Well, I mean, a lot of people. Okay, so a lot of people on Kevin Valajos right now. Mm-hmm. He got the 2 knockouts. I think he won the Dana White Contender Series. He's in this Danny Silva. They went back and forth. They were saying that was a fight of the night first, before the Rebovix fight, before the Rebecca fight.
Right.
And so Kevin Vlahos gets the win, and now he's trying to call out a ranked opponent. And I was like, whoa. Let's just
slow it down a little bit. How many wins does he have in the UFC?
That's 3, I believe. Let's simmer
3,
down.
okay.
And then Danny, you know, he was kind of I think he's 12-2 now. He's 10-2 now. He was 10-1 going to that fight. He was just showboating in there. I'm like, bro, if you're gonna showboat, get the dub.
Mm-hmm. Did he clearly lose that fight, Danny?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Kevin. He got him. He got him. It wasn't like he didn't get like knocked out. He didn't get submitted or anything, right? They went 3 rounds, but I felt like Kevin just was able to beat him in counter better. He did beat him. He did beat him.
Okay. For sure.
But I thought Danny the whole time was like showboating, like acting like he's one hands down, kind of moving around. Like, bro, if you're gonna do all that, get the dub. Don't do that and then lose.
Why was he showboating? Like he was showboating after getting punched in the face, or he was showboating because like Vallejos was getting tired?
Like he was showboating, like, oh, bro, that didn't hurt me. And then like, you know, kind of putting his hands down.
It's
like,
clear that you're losing when you do that.
Yeah, but he was doing it like almost all 3 rounds, and like there were moments he looked a little bit better and faster. But then it was like you weren't dominating the fight though
over the entirety of the fight,
right?
Yeah,
so I mean,
he had his moments, but overall,
yeah, if you're gonna do something like that, win the fight, because to me you look like it. That looks dumb. Like,
no, I feel you.
But that's my take.
That's the prelim gang take.
Yeah.
And then of course, you know, or that was actually main card.
Was it? Maybe
yeah,
it was the
like
beginning. It was the opener for the main.
Now this kid seems to be pretty good. I don't know much about him. I'm really gonna have to tune into his next fight. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things. Okay. Rinya Nakamura. Not much to say about him, but I will say I'm high on this young man. I haven't watched him fight, but just based off what I've been seeing and hearing, seems like one of those guys. Again, could be a title challenger, but let's not speak that high yet. Let's just put him on a good path. You know what I'm saying? But he's 10-1. I think he came from Road to UFC. He has a freestyle wrestling background. 30 years old. He actually did lose his last fight.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And Carlos Vera isn't a good win.
Right. No. We're in the beginning stages here, right? You got a good KO.
Yeah, Fernie Garcia, Tioshi.
Let's definitely pump the brakes. Definitely.
But he could be good. He's 4-1, so let's see.
Yeah.
Now, the other one I just wanted to mention.
What division is that?
I believe that is 135. Now, the one thing I did want to mention is
give him
I don't got too much negativity to say, but this kid Austin Bashi. I mean, we just got to talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
I told you that all the Nut Riders would come out when he got the win. And he's a decent fighter. My thing is just like, what the fuck do people like about this kid? I hate to be rude. I'm sorry. But
yeah, I didn't know too much about him until you kind of like said something about it. I was like, oh, I thought he lost his last one.
Did you notice that? Did you see any hype behind him?
I did see. Okay, so I did.
Did you notice he has like 50 people in the crowd?
That
like, since when are you allowed to have that many people in the crowd at the Apex?
All I was paying attention was to their storyline. The storyline was, hey, this kid's been fighting since he was made to fight.
I hate hearing
that. I was like, oh, I didn't know all that. Like, since he's been this years old, he's been made to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the next prodigy.
The best in his gym.
Right. And so then, but then he did get that's why I was more like, oh, he got a loss, though. So, all right, let's pump the brakes here. And he was kind of humble, though. He was like, all right, I had to go back to drawing board. I had to go learn. So he literally just laid it on this guy, just was like on his ass, like submission, you know, with jiu-jitsu did not give him an inch to breathe. And he got a nice win. He did get a nice win. I'm more on your take. Like, let's get 4 or 5 of those. Then let's start.
Before we start getting on these guys' dick, bro. Like, these guys are so premature. They haven't done shit. They could be gone in a year. And it's like, it's a waste of time to be hyping these guys up. And I feel like so many of these smaller guys are getting hype when we should just be spending time putting out more stories about the top of the card. We should be figuring out more storylines for Tatsuro Taira, right? Aside from the fact that he's a future title contender, being 1-1 in his last 2. There should be more talks about, you know, more conversation to be had. But instead, it gets watered down because we're talking about shit that doesn't deserve to be talked about. Yeah. I feel like, in my opinion. I know a lot of people aren't talking about Bashi, but I just feel like even for him to be getting any attention, he should be a fucking nobody just walking into that fight. Like, letting him have 30 friends and family there is ridiculous, bro. He doesn't deserve any special treatment. I'm sorry, but this is show business, and you need to learn how to sell tickets on your own. And selling tickets on your own isn't fucking having 100 people from your fucking town there. It's not, bro. Selling tickets is being a fucking person that can align with the masses. So, you got a question on that?
What's his IG look like?
I could promise you it ain't much. I'll pull it up right now. But that, these guys, this is my other point.
Okay, let's go over under. You think he has over under 100,000?
Oh, I was going to say over under 20. I'd probably go under 20.
What? I would say I'm going to go over.
He got 23.1K, so I was wrong.
Oh, he has
23.1K.
Okay, I was way off.
And that's only because he was on Dana White's Contender Series, bro.
Yeah, I was way off then.
Yeah, you were thinking 100? Fuck no.
Yeah.
And then look who has him on the next week. Ariel Helwan. Or no, he didn't have him on.
No.
But I was gonna make a point about Bashi, which is I feel like I forget what I was gonna say. Probably something along the lines of like, I feel like it gets hyped up, when these guys really, it's too soon, man. I don't know, just the thing about having all those people in there. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. When you hype them up prematurely, these guys think that they are something. They think that they've done it. Then they don't fucking work hard. They don't innovate shit, and try to grow their name because everybody's fucking sucking them off anyway. And then once they lose and everyone falls off the train, these guys are lost. You turn into Corey Sandhagen making fucking satire videos. And Corey Sandhagen's a bad example because he is an elite fighter. But I just hate his gimmick. But that would be my thing is like, when you guys push these guys and co-sign these fighters so soon, you're doing them a disservice. You should be ignoring them. Like, until they prove something. It makes them work harder. We'll get a better product out of it. But to be like glorifying this guy for whatever reason, if you really glorify these fighters just to be like, oh, like, I was the first one to say he would be a champion.
Right.
I mean, like, what the fuck do we get out of that, bro? You're probably gonna be wrong 9 times out of 10. So like, we got to sit here and listen to you be wrong 9 times just to hear you be right once. Like, that whole thing about taking pride and being like, oh my God, I predicted he would be a champion. Like, it's cool, but bro, how about all the other times you didn't? How about all the other guys you predicted that for that you were wrong about?
Right.
So just lay off it. We don't want to hear the narrative. We're tired of hearing about people being champion. Let them show us. Let them show us. And I'll say it one more time. Don't ever let that kid bring 30 plus people to watch his fight at the Apex ever again. If that's the case, then put him in an arena if he can really sell. If that's the case,
how old is he? Like 22?
I don't even know. But really young. Put him in an arena if he can really sell, right? If that's the narrative, or whatever the narrative wants to be, then go test it on the big show. But when you're testing him in the Apex, we all know what that is. Look at Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I don't want to put out a little bit of dirt, but let me just put it like this. Anthony Hernandez in the Apex, right? I hit him up
this Saturday? This Saturday.
I
was gonna ask. I thought it was somewhere else. It's at the Apex.
I hit him up for an interview when I heard the fight was announced. He didn't want to do an interview. Now, do you think that's a coincidence that he doesn't like doing interviews and that he's in the Apex?
I mean, I guess there's not much to sell.
But did you hear the first part? I said I reached out when I heard the fight was announced. I said, "You want to do an interview?" He said, "No."
And you already been working.
We
with
already
him, right?
did an interview in the past, so it's all good. And I don't take it offensively, but I'm just saying, I'm using him as a point. They put people in the Apex who don't sell. That's why Anthony's there. Anthony's there in the Apex because he doesn't really sell, because he doesn't want to do interviews and promote himself. He just wants to fight. He doesn't want to deal with that other aspect. That's why he's there.
True.
That's why Bashi's there. But somehow Bashi gets to have 30 plus people attend his fight. And that's all I'm saying. If Bashi, you don't get to have both. You don't get to put Bashi on an Apex card and then tell me he's a fucking future star. If he's a future star, get him the fuck out of the Apex. Because that's bullshit. Those two don't fucking align. If he's a future star, you throw him on a card, he could sell, right? So where's all the people flying out to watch him fight? It's just his friends and family. I got 30 friends and family that would come watch me fight too. You guys are buying the bullshit.
I got 10.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit.
Yeah.
Everybody would
Put me
love to come watch a fight.
put me on the Apex.
So I'm sorry to bash you. I don't mean to fucking hate.
Yeah, why are you
but
bashing Bashy, bro?
bashing
Damn.
bashy because people be
Damn,
over
bro.
fucking inflating the market, and I gotta fucking bring it back
Damn.
down. I'm the market adjuster. Call me the market adjuster. Call me Howard Stern, whatever you want to call me.
AKA
Oh, okay,
the
great question. What's good? Who do you think going to win the MVP versus Cannonier match? You know, off of first thoughts about that matchup, I like it. I like MVP going up to middleweight. I think MVP got that fight.
when I saw Jared Cannonier versus Rodriguez, I had to put some respect back on Jared
I
Cannonier's
know
name.
Cannonier deserves mass amounts of respect.
Yeah, the dude, he's definitely not that's not a give me fight.
Hmm.
Nah, nah. MVP has a particular style too that
Very difficult.
yeah. Gregory Rodriguez like wants to walk through him, and he's probably gonna brawl with you, and I think that cardio is not going to be a problem for MVP in this fight.
Hmm.
I'm just wondering, I got Cannonier honestly, bro.
Here's how I'll see it playing out. If Cannonier wins, it's because he's able to tire out MVP and just kind of pin MVP down essentially and fire off shots. But if
I think he's gonna hurt him.
but MVP can also have Cannonier looking lost on the feet for all 3 rounds, just like Kevin Holland. He MVP made Kevin Holland look kind of dumb, right? And he could do that to Cannonier. It's 50-50. Either MVP styles and makes his opponent look dumb as fuck, or MVP gets beat kind of badly.
Here's the conversation too. It's like it's almost like when Gregory Rodriguez jumped up to Jared Cannonier. There's a level that he jumped up to, and and Cannonier showed him like, bro, there is another level here. Like you're stepping into something. Now with MVP, I'm still scratching my head. Like he is a top 10 guy. I don't know if he's a top 5 guy, and I think that Jared Cannonier is between that 5 and 10 as well.
Oh, Cannonier been living in that top 5 for a minute.
Yeah, right.
He's been living in that for a fucking half a decade.
Yeah, so I think so that's right, and so that's what I think too. His resume speaks volumes. He's fought some of the top guys in that division, so he's not a chump. He's not going to be like this. Is not a give me fight.
I'd like to see where this fight's taking place, if it's in a big cage or a small cage, because I think big cages help out Cannonier a lot.
Is that the UFC? What fight card is that? Is that UFC 319?
Okay, if it's 319, then it's in a big cage, and that plays to MVP's favor. I will definitively
because there's more room for him to fuck around.
Yeah, right. Cannonier almost the king of the apex. That small ass octagon. He'll pin your ass against the cage, just beat your ass. I'm gonna say I'll just definitively say
it's 319.
I'm gonna lean towards MVP.
I'm gonna lean towards Cannonier.
All right, LaShawn. So you got both of us are fucking 10 push-ups. All right.
All right.
We're split. So LaShawn, I don't know if that helped you out, but maybe got perspective on both sides to make your decision. Now Tyler Betts saying, "What's the lock of the card?" I'm assuming you're talking about this weekend.
Oh, hold on. I got my prize picks up.
Okay. But I'll
wanted to ask you what you thought.
I'll fire off a lock of the card without even looking at the card first. I'm going with Fluffy.
I'm going Dolidze.
Okay, I'm going Fluffy.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm going Fluffy.
Okay, I think this is Fluffy's first step of some competition. I think he had fought
first step of competition.
Well, he fought Brandon Allen before, right? I think
Edmund Shabazian. I know that Edmund has shit ass wins.
Yeah. Now
Michelle Pereira's certified, bro. You cannot do that to Pereira.
Yeah, but is he a top 10 guy? He's not a top 10 guy. He's like one of those guys you always talk that we were just talking about. He's the Rebovics.
Yeah, but okay, and this is something that's been going on. So let's talk about this. You cannot always rely on the rankings for everything.
Okay.
You have to be able to decipher between rankings and a good fighter.
So who is he beat?
I just said Michelle Pereira is a.
I know, but who is Michelle Pereira beat? He hasn't beat no top 10 guys.
Let's see. Let's pull this up. He beat Michelle Oleksiejczuk.
They got the homies arguing over here.
He beat Andre Petroski. He beat Ponzinibbio. He beat Chaos Williams.
These are guys like on the back end. It looks good on paper. That looks good on paper.
But here's
Chaos Williams looks good on paper. Petrosky, he's Bobby what, 40?
Damn, homie just cut out.
I got excited.
Okay, are you done with your point?
Yeah.
Okay. I admit that they're not the best fighters in the world.
All right.
But we can't just operate on a system of have you beat the fucking former champions, like then we eliminate 90% of the conversation. You know what I'm trying to say here? So sure. Brendan Allen is a tough win. Michel Pereira is a tough win. These are guys that you cannot just come in there, anybody off the street. Like I'm saying, like an Islam Dulatov, there's levels. Islam Dulatov sure. against Michel Pereira, you know, to some degree, Dulatov's getting wiped. And I know that these are even like different weight classes. Oh. I'm coming off the top of my head here, but Michel was at 170 for a while.
Don't get me wrong. Hernandez, I mean, I'm a huge fan, bro. He's from Southern California, you know what I mean? Like I'm a huge fan. Like I want him to win, you know what I mean? And he's earned that spot to get there. I think he's what, 7 fight? Is he on a 7-fight win streak?
He's on a big win streak. I don't know the exact number.
I don't know what it is. It's just I feel like Dolidze is gonna. Now, I was gonna ask you about this. Is Dolidze good on the ground like Anthony is? Because we know Anthony's really good on the ground.
They're both pretty equal on the ground.
Okay, so then remember what we talked about the Brandon Allen fight and the Marvin Vettori fight. That kind of cancels out, right?
Yes.
So if I were to take them standing up, I'm gonna take Dolidze.
Okay, now.
And that's where I kind of got to where I got.
But okay, and this is where you have to almost, no offense, but do more research.
Oh, okay.
Because Anthony Hernandez is an actual kickboxer. He has kickboxing bouts. That's his origin in fighting. He's originally a kickboxer, but he uses grappling mostly in his fights.
Right.
And so, you know.
It's
fine if you think that, but on paper, it's more logical to think Anthony Hernandez is gonna have the striking because he's a former kickboxer.
All right, let's see I wonder what the line is.
But to your point about fighting elite fighters, when you pull up Dolidze's resume, I will hand you, some merit here. He has lost to Imavov, he's lost to Vettori.
He got knocked out.
Decision. 2 decision losses to Imavov and Vettori, but then he avenged the loss to Vettori. So those two both have fought for titles. Anthony Smith has fought for the light heavyweight title, even though he lost. And then you got Kevin Holland in the mix there. Mm-hmm. So I mean, yes, those are sexier names.
Jack Hermanson, I like that win too.
But Jack Hermanson is almost how you're grouping it. You're like counting Jack Hermanson as like a Kevin Holland type,
Yeah, no, you're right, and I think that's why the matchmakers did a good job, right? These are two guys that are like on the same path of where they're trying to get, and now they got to meet each other in order to get into that top 5. Mm-hmm. You know, what are they both 7, 8?
Yeah. Okay, so let's meet in the middle a little bit, or at least I will. You kind of said this is Anthony's first test. I don't want the narrative to be necessarily that Anthony is inexperienced. He hasn't been tested.
No, you're right about that. You're 100% right.
But I will say that I feel like maybe the level of competition, Roman has fought higher levels of competition, so this is a more difficult test than probably any of Fluffy's previous.
Yeah.
And has Roman fought tougher guys than Anthony? Technically, yes. Right. Has Anthony fought tougher guys than Roman? Technically, no. So I do get where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying?
But they are both veterans. They're both battle.
They're both vets. That's the only point I wanted to make.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. You know, I don't know if we answered the guy's question.
The lock of the night. We'll get into the lock of the night.
I was gonna share this with you. Okay, so my locks are: I got Anthony. Okay, so the bet is over or under 51.5 strikes for the fight.
Okay, Anthony over under 50?
51.5.
Shit, I might go under, bro, because like it could
Really?
be well, it could be something where because catch me right, going back to what we just talked about, Anthony might piece up Roman on the feet and force Roman to grapple, and then they're gonna be in that Kevin or what was it when Anthony and Brendan fought? It was all grappling the whole fight. I texted you and you're like, that shit was kind of boring. So it could be that way if Roman gets pieced up on the feet, he might force Anthony to wrestle.
So let's look. I'm gonna see if I can pull up those stats because I think I pulled up the stats and he had more strikes than 51 in that fight. The last fight he had like 200 and then he had like 70. So I tried to average it out. I went over because I was like, it's 5 rounds. If it was 3 rounds, I might be a little bit more like, ooh.
Oh yeah, good call. 5 rounds.
Okay, here, Steve Ursig, fight time, and the homies in the chat, let us know what you think. Over under. Steve Ursig, fight time over under 11 minutes.
That's kind of tough.
Do you think he's gonna win?
I'm gonna go under.
You're gonna go under? See, I went over. I gotta do another bet.
Steve's fights are quick. Steve's fights are quick, and the flyweights, oddly enough, flyweights always fucking end up finishes a lot of the time.
But Steve Ursig, like, he did get knocked out, right? But he's been in some wars, and the other dude, O'Day. I mean, I saw him against what's his name? Like I don't know, bro. Like I'd see this going 3 rounds.
But how crazy is it too? Just a side note, how crazy is it? Ursig going from title shot to fucking O'Day Osborne.
Dude, Steve better win this one, bro.
It's a bit of a fall from grace,
bro. No. But you know what? I like that they gave him this one. Like they were feeding him to the wolves.
Yeah, my opinion is it's like, bro, stop building these guys so fucking fast. He should have fought Osborne before he even fought for the title. You guys are running it backwards. How the fuck is he going from the title to Osborne? He should have fought Osborne on his way to the title, but they fucking speed ran his ass, ruining his career a little bit. Finish off your bets.
Yeah, so wait, so UFC Ursig on this one?
I'm a rock with Ursig.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think I like him, and I think he's definitely battle tested.
But take my pick with a grain of salt. That ain't no betting advice when I'm talking about flyweights, really.
Well, look this is how I can hedge my bet. So listen to this. So if I hedge my bet, I bet 20, right? 20 wins you 120. So if I bet another 20 and go the opposite way, I win 120. I win either way.
You basically win 80 either way.
Right. But now we're thinking. All right.
Unless they both get fucked. That's always a chance.
Oh, so here's the it's a 3-fight parlay. Angela Hill over under 70.5 strikes.
Who's she fighting?
I forgot homegirl's name. I believe she's fighting Gabriela Fernandez.
Gabriela Fernandez?
Oh, Jasmine Lucinda. I'm sorry. Versus Jasmine
Julia Stoliarenko versus Gabriela Fernandez? Or who are you talking about?
No, it's Angela Hill versus Jasmine Lucinda. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Lucinda.
I mean, I guess over.
See, I took over.
But that would be me betting on a women's fight being exciting, and I don't really do that.
Well, because all these girls, all they do is swing. So they're just like.
If it wasn't Angela in there, I would go under. But if Angela's in there, I'll go under or over.
Yeah, so I took over. So I took over on those three fights.
Okay. Somebody said, starts round 3 safe in your guys' opinion? Oh, I think he's talking about Fluffy.
Is he what?
Fluffy versus Dolidze he's basically asking if Fluffy versus Dolidze is over 3 rounds.
I think it is. I don't see one of them trying to knocking each other out.
I think it'll be over 3 rounds too. That's a dogfight right there. Those guys are hard to kill. Those guys are hard to kill. And so just to say one other thing.
They are hard to kill. Yeah.
That's what I was kind of saying earlier is that's where the rankings sometimes don't tell you. So that's what I was saying. Sometimes the rankings won't tell you the fighters who are hard to kill. And I feel like Michelle Pereira is a guy who's hard to kill. You know, Kevin Holland, a little bit hard to kill, but he is kind of an easy lick too at the same fucking time.
But see, this is what I thought though. When that fight happened, I was like, Anthony Hernandez was just levels above him.
Above who? Allen?
Piera. Is it Piera, right?
Pereira. Yeah, he was levels above him, but then I say, okay, that means
Pereira had a lot of hype because he did that backflip, remember, and he like
yeah, but I feel like all that hype's kind of like died down a lot. That was earlier in his career, even before the Hernandez fight, though.
Yeah,
yeah, it had been a couple years since that whole backflip incident. But with for me, when I saw him beat Michel, I was like, okay, he's classes above Michel. That means Anthony is like title ready. So I mean, not title ready as in like fighting for that title, but you can dominate a guy like Michel. Okay, hear me out. Okay. There's classes to this. You got Rebecki, you got Ribovics. These guys are in wars with unranked guys.
Right.
Okay. Right. With that being said, they couldn't hold a candle to even a ranked opponent. They're in wars with guys who are less. Mm-hmm. So when you take Michel Pereira, at least he's ranked and he's been living in the rankings for a little minute there. I think about at the time that he fought Anthony. Also finishing everybody, knocking them all out. So when you beat a guy like Michel, and not only that, but you dominate him and you finish him in the 5th round, a ranked opponent who has been finishing guys previously, right? That's why I kind of group it in like that. Because this is a guy who's been finishing people in Pereira. And then you get Hernandez who comes in, fights him, and then finishes his ass. So that's way different than Ribovics and that other fight we're talking about. But here's my point too, that I'm going back to earlier. I don't blame you for necessarily having a hard time differentiating the two, because everybody hypes shit up the same. And that's why I'm saying Ribovics and these other guys, Rebecki, they don't deserve a lot of credit because they're getting too much credit and it's flooding the market. Now we don't see the wins like I'm explaining about Hernandez and Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira has never been hyped up like they hype up Rebecki and how they hype up Ribovics, but he's way better skill-wise. He's finished way more guys. Why is that? They're only because see they hype up weird bullshit. They hype up a bloodbath over a guy who knocks someone out in 2 minutes. There's such different levels to it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So that's why I give Hernandez a lot of credit for beating Michel Pereira. Now, if a guy goes ahead, right? Let's say a guy like Ribovics gets into the rankings, and then somebody ranked above him or whatever beats Ribovics. I'm gonna go back and say, yeah, but Ribovics was never very good. He was getting in wars with shit ass opponents.
Yeah, let me ask you this: after you saw, the Brendan Allen and Anthony Hernandez fight? In my opinion, it was almost a draw.
Close fight. I mean, I gave it to Fluffy. I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I in my opinion, it was like they both. Even when the Brendan Allen Marvin Vettori, Brendan Allen won, but he didn't win. Mm-hmm. He won, and that's kind of how I felt with here. So I was like, a lot of these guys are like kind of like very par now when they get into this level. That Jared Cannonier MVP fight, is going to be interesting too, because these are two guys on that are elite,
mm-hmm.
And Anthony Hernandez and Dolidze, they're elite.
Yeah,
we're gonna get. That's why it's a headliner. We're gonna get a fight.
Exactly.
That's for sure. Technical. These guys are gonna play a chess match in there.
Yes, and even you're entitled to whatever you want to think, but I will say, I feel like you got to even start putting a little bit more respect on Brendan Allen's name.
Bro, I'm a big Brendan. What are you talking about? I'm a big Brendan Allen fan.
But you were saying like Anthony Hernandez, that ain't a good win.
Well, it's because
and then I'm bigging up Michel Pereira
because I have so much more expectations, and so it's like when you're putting, that's a crazy expectation. Like what's the expectation then? That to win the belt,
but he got to get there.
He got to get there.
And Brendan Allen, I feel like is a good step.
I thought they were both already. See, and that's what it is. I thought they were both already ready for it, and I'm not convinced.
Because you were also because you had something to say about Allen too with the loss to Imavov.
Bro, and I'm telling you, I'm a huge Brendan Allen fan, bro.
Are you sure you're a huge Brendan Allen fan? Of all of them, I thought you weren't the fucking biggest Brendan Allen fan.
Brendan Allen, bro. I love him. I
thought you were kind of done on him, saying like he's not really.
I just want more. I want another level. I want a fucking another gear. I want you to knock motherfuckers out.
He's gonna have a hard time doing.
I want you to choke some. I want to see that submission game elite. Just it's over, lights out.
Okay, and here will be one of my last points on this topic. See a guy like Brendan Allen, right? Coming up, he finished a lot of guys too. Finished their asses.
Yeah.
Got himself into the rankings, and you see how much he struggles in the rankings because it's not fucking easy.
No, you're
so,
right.
So even and
right.
that's nothing against to what you're saying, but here's my major point here. That's why these guys who go in wars against unranked opponents, you're almost never gonna be anything. Because if a guy like Brendan Allen, who finished all the lower level competition, gets into the rankings and he's struggling, that's why I'm saying, as a fighter, do not strive to get in wars with unranked fighters.
Right.
You know, because if you can't, you should be having to finish them because those guys are like the stepping stone to that higher class that you're trying to get to. Mm-hmm. So even Fluffy, he finished a lot of guys earlier on, but he's struggling a little bit now, or not struggling, but he's got to fight his way up in this upper echelon now of fighters.
Yeah. And even like Gregor Rodriguez is another example. Gregor Rodriguez, but they thought he was going to be able to get in there. Jared Cannonier showed, hey, whoa.
Right.
Let me show you how to fight 5 rounds.
Definitely.
Let me show you that first.
Definitely. So a few of the chats, people are saying Edwards, Walker, Smith, parlay, Hill money line, Fluffy 4th or 5th round finish. If Dolidze wins, it'll be 1st or 2nd round KO.
Whoa!
But he will tire later rounds. Randy, that's a pick.
Hey, shout out to the homies in the chat though.
MVP picks apart Jared at his age now.
But MVP's like 39, 42.
And Jared's been defying age for fucking already.
Right.
He's going on 5 years of being the old man on the block.
Right.
So it ain't never made a difference back then.
I mean, MVP is not 25.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking too much about age going into this one, Randy. I'm going to be real with you. I wasn't thinking age is going to play too much of a factor here.
If MVP was 30 right now, I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. He's like 38, 39.
It's actually more about beatings and like fight miles. Like how many beatings has MVP taken? Not too many. How many beatings has Cannonier taken? Not too many.
Yeah.
Cannonier's been in some wars, but not like been knocked out and shit.
Yeah.
Although he did get knocked out, I think, somewhat recently. But it's not as bad as some other guys.
I just like that the homies are in the chat.
The homies are in the chat. They're letting us know what's up. LaShawn said, good take by both when it came to...
no, fuck that. My take's the best take.
MVP versus Cannonier. He said, good take by both. I don't know if your take's the best take, homie.
I like that, we said this before, like, we don't always agree, but it's like a respectful discussion. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We just chopping it up. There's obviously
when we always agreed on shit, it'd be boring.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We don't go over here like sucking each other off and shit. Be like, people like, okay, like, all right, guys, good show.
Well, the problem is the audience too will watch that and they see the times where like there should be pushback, and if you don't give pushback, they're gonna lose respect for you.
Yeah.
So it's like and on top of that, we're good with it anyway. You know, it's all about being open-minded.
What's my favorite line? It's a setup. It's a setup.
It's a setup. Classic line.
Setup.
Classic MTK line. Yeah. So we can get into UFC 109, I guess.
We just did.
Oh, I mean, sorry. UFC
319.
Yeah, 319.
UFC
319.
Little preview.
Let me pull up the card real quick.
All right. So it's safe to say that this card is stacked, though.
Let's pull it up.
You got Hamzat versus DDP, undefeated. The kid made it out. He's not in the hospital. He's fucking not. No injuries came up. He's in the U.S. They're ready to go. Mm-hmm. They're ready to go. The co-main, Aaron Pico versus
Lerone. Undefeated.
Okay. Don't get me started with Lerone, bro. Like,
what you got for Lerone?
No, because the last fight was a Josh Emmett.
Yeah.
That did not impress me at all. Not at all. Like, if you trying to be that dude, and this may be the first time I'm gonna pick a guy coming from another organization to beat Lerone Milford.
Okay. So you think Pico's gonna take Lerone's O?
They're putting him on a pedestal.
Who on a pedestal?
Just whoever fans UFC that he's gonna be.
Who's getting put on the pedestal? Lerone. Oh, okay.
Lerone,
I think the UFC's putting Lerone on the pedestal.
Yeah, because I know he's undefeated, but that last fight versus Josh, if you're undefeated, walk through Josh Emmett then.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not a pedestal necessarily. Maybe it's a product of good timing because Movsar pulled out.
I think he's safe. Like, he likes to fight very safe.
He likes to fight safe. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And I've had Lerone on, and I don't like to say this about guys who I've had on, But I'm not a fan of Lerone. I'm not a fan of Lerone really at all.
And it's not that I don't want. And here's the thing: it's not that I don't want. I want a more exciting fight when you're in there.
Mm-hmm. I just think that Lerone is completely clueless about the game. Like overall, like you know how I was saying after his last win, he wasn't capturing the moment. And then 3 months after his win, now I saw him posting on Twitter like, "I finally understand the game now." It's like, dude, oh my god, like now.
Okay, for
now
the
you
homies
finally
in the chat,
understand it.
Look, for the homies in the chat, just so you know a little bit about Parry Punch here and Jacob. You're listening to a guy that understands the formula behind the scenes, what it takes in entertainment to become a star. You know, he is right, because there's elements that you need in order to get to that next tier. Getting on the mic, doing your social media, having good wins, right? These are all formulas to get to that stardom. So that's why Parry Punch is so critical on fighters, because he wants to see them succeed, but it's like he almost gets let down because he doesn't see full potential.
Now, full circle, right? This is the funny thing. Why did Lerone just now realize that this is the game, how it has to be played? Well, he found himself on like a 10-fight winning streak in the UFC. What's it called? Basically in a position where he should be fighting for a title, and nobody wants to fight him. And he's not getting any calls. He's not getting any offers. And he's sitting back, twiddling his thumbs at home, being like, what the fuck? I've won 10 fights in a row. The world isn't mine? I won 10 fights in a row. The world's not mine? I thought if I won 10 fights in a row, I get to have everything I ever wanted.
Right.
And he's sitting back, confused as fuck, and he finally realized.
Gene Silva's not calling him out. Diego Lopez isn't.
And he's seeing them get booked. Gene Silva got booked. You know, whoever else got booked. Yair got booked and shit like that.
Yair not calling. None of the top 5 guys are calling.
And so he's sitting back like, how the fuck are these guys getting up opponents who are less than me? And then it finally clicked in his head. Oh shit! I don't be saying anything. I don't take advantage or like dictate my fucking future. I don't really fight exciting necessarily. I fight super like, plotty and very like orthodox, right? Yeah. So now he finally realizes it when he's stuck in a position where nobody wants to give him anything. And so it's like, you fighters need to stop waiting till now in that position to realize. That's what annoys me too. You're going to realize eventually, because you're going to find yourself in a position where ain't nobody giving you shit, aka Sean Brady. Ariel can put you on a show as many times as he wants. It doesn't matter. If you can't grow your name for yourself, nobody else is going to do it for you. Like, you go on Ariel's show 10 more times, see how good that does for you. You got to fight again. You're number 1 contender. But now, once these guys get in this position, now they'll figure it out. But they're so fucking stubborn to figure it out ahead of time. Look at Corey Sandhagen. These guys take so long to figure it out, and they're so stubborn to not fucking accept it sooner.
I like when he gets that off. So
it's not me. It's because they think it's me trying to force them. That's not me. That's not my personality. Blah blah blah. Okay, fine. Keep your fucking personality. But when you sit back and you don't get the opportunities you want, you're gonna come back around and say, "Okay, I gotta change my personality." So why did you do it sooner?
At least play the game a little bit. You don't really.
But they don't want to play the game. They think that like they're selling their soul.
Right.
Oh, that's not me. I have to be me. I have to be my real self. Well, listen, buddy. Like, maybe you just shouldn't even be fighting then, because you got to fucking put 2 and 2 together somewhere. It's not just I think sometimes, honestly, fighting for a lot of fighters is just a selfish endeavor. They just want to fight and like show how good they are, and like they don't think about anything but themselves. And like, there's so much more to consider with fighting. Like, it's not just about how good you can be, who you can beat, and then like your name is gonna be remembered forever. It's not that way. But that's what they think it is. They really think it's like that.
I think there's something to be said too. Like, a lot of these guys don't have managers, right? I think in boxing, when it was at its prime, it had really good like managers that kind of gave boxers that path. I think more UFC fighters need that manager. Some of them can't afford it though either. To if they don't have that, to have someone say, all right, look, we're gonna put this together for you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not the guy that wants to do all of that, let's put a guy in your team that will do that for you.
Or at least, like you're saying, that package should be delivered to them, like you're saying, like a sponsorship package. But like, a manager should come up to these fighters like a Sean Brady and told Sean Brady years ago, this is what you have to do. This isn't about accepting it or not accepting it. This is what you have to do. You can either figure out your own way how to do it, or I'll tell you how to do it. But this has to be accomplished, meaning you have to sell tickets.
Sure.
And that was never explained to him until recently. Another example, I just looked on YouTube recently, and I know people joke about Bilal Muhammad. Nobody's going to remember his name. But the bottom line, he was a world champion, right? He won the belt.
Sure.
Now, he posted a video on YouTube 3 or 4 days ago. I looked at it last night. It popped up on my Explore page on YouTube.
Yeah.
That shit had less than 10K views.
That's
You're a former
crazy.
world champion. I mean, isn't I hope that fighters are listening right now. I hope every fighter is watching this right now, because if that's not clicking to you guys, I don't know what is. You're a former world champion. You got a video posted 4 fucking days ago, and it's got 6K views. Now, part of my opinion, you guys should stop trying to go on YouTube. YouTube isn't what you think it is. Again, YouTube is almost being selfish. You're trying to fucking create more clout for yourself. The UFC is the clout. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's
if I
the
had
ultimate.
to, like,
That's
are
the
you
ultimate,
fucking kidding me? Like, I gotta make my name on fucking YouTube here, and you know what I would fucking do for that media press pass at the UFC? For that fucking need a drama fucking cosign? That collaborator fucking anytime I want? And you guys are over here trying to take that shine you get from the UFC, and you think you're somebody now, to the point where you want to go make your name on YouTube, and then your numbers are down on YouTube, and then you're ruining the perception of your name, because people see this, and now I'm talking about it. Bilal Muhammad did less than 10K 5 days fucking after his post is already made, and he's a former world champion. You guys, why the fuck are you making your name on YouTube? Make your fucking name in the UFC.
You've already made it almost, right?
And look at the fucking I've said this before. I'm gonna have to say it again. Floyd Mayweather, does he have a YouTube channel?
I don't think so.
Canelo Alvarez, does he have a YouTube channel?
I don't think so.
Conor McGregor, does he have a YouTube channel?
Because they
John
don't give
Jones, does he have a YouTube channel?
They don't give a. They don't. They don't need that. They don't need that.
You guys are gonna make my brain explode, bro. Explode. I just named the 4 biggest combat sports stars of the last fucking decade. None of them have a YouTube channel. Get the fuck off YouTube. Start fucking having a bit of self-awareness and start growing your name organically. The only person that's been doing it is basically Joaquin. There's 2 people. Joaquin, Alex Pereira. I can't think of anybody else. Ilya Topuria. Max Holloway's been doing this for himself, but even Max Holloway, you know, where he's been in this game for so long.
And
why aren't you a fucking superstar?
And I think too, the YouTube is the after you retire game. That's
they
not
don't need that shit, bro. There's so much more money to get.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you.
You're chasing pennies on YouTube. Go get sponsorships doing other shit. Like,
that's true.
Like, you got so much of a fucking platform, and you guys don't even recognize it in the UFC. Like, UFC is YouTube. UFC is Google. Like, UFC is a platform.
No,
you go on UFC and you get 10,000 followers after a win. Why don't you just go rack up another win and get another 10K? It took me like a year to get 10K on Instagram from 0 to my thing. I see fighters all the time. They got 3K followers. They fight on Contender Series. They win. They get a contract. They got 13K the next day. How many followers does Malcolm Wellmaker have now? But I don't know. Even him is wasted time on YouTube and shit, trying to tell his story. You guys, and this is the thing. Go to the media platforms like myself, other media platforms. I guess you can go to Ariel, but to think that you guys even hold the crown and like people are just gonna come to your channel, listen to you. No, they want the dynamic. They like the dynamic between the fighter and the interviewer. That is a dynamic. They don't just want to come and listen to you fucking stroke yourself off all day. You're not gonna talk about anything people really want to hear about. You are, but you're not. Right? You're gonna talk about some things, but you're not. You're gonna ignore some things that I would probably bring up. So it's not the same dynamic. So, like, these fighters who will go ahead and, like, even Max Holloway, he goes ahead and does his own post-fight interview. Good luck with that, bro. But, like, fucking A. Like, give something to the media guys, right? And continue to grow your name off the UFC. But, I don't know, man. These guys just be doing whatever.
I just let you go off.
They be doing whatever.
I don't know what started you. I don't know what started.
We'll have to rewind that shit. I don't know what started me either.
I think it was Lerone Murphy.
It was Lerone Murphy. It was Lerone Murphy's fucking ass. It was.
So what guy. You got, Aaron Pico or Lerone?
I'll go Aaron Pico.
Me too. And you know, the only reason why is because he's younger.
Oh, I'll go just... I mean, Aaron
Because
Pico
he's the
definitely
first
got the
fighter that I
wrestling
feel like
pedigree.
has gone in the UFC that's like, okay, you're not 35 and up, and then like on the back end
Mhm.
of your career, like, okay, you got in here at a good time in your career.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what you got.
I'll say about Pico, he's got great wrestling. He's one of the best wrestlers that we came across when he was like a youth.
Mm.
He was like a U17 world champion, like an under 17 youth world champion in wrestling, freestyle. He was beating like college guys when he was really young. So Pico's like super legit in the grappling. So let me put it like this to you. If you think, you know how sometimes we debate about takedowns?
Mm-hmm.
Ask me the question if Lerone could take down Pico.
Fuck
Fuck no. Not even in his dreams.
He won't even attempt it.
He knows better.
He won't even attempt
but
it.
I'm just putting that out there to let you know that's the skill level we're talking about here.
Right.
When we're talking about Pico, Lerone wouldn't even dream of trying to attempt a takedown on him.
Let's do this. We'll do a rapid fire and then because I got to leave in like 5.
Okay.
Tim Elliott or Kim Asakura? Kai Asakura.
Tim Elliott? Oh, I thought...
Number 11 versus number 13.
I thought you were saying Tim Kennedy, my bad. Kai Sakura or Tim Elliott? Fuck, that's like so random.
That opens
Can
it
I
up.
just pick Tatsuro Tairo over Tim Elliott? Because that's the one I really would like to say.
No, Kai Asakura.
I don't got shit to say about Kai Sakura really.
I think he's gonna pull. I think he's gonna pull it off.
Oh wait, is that an actual fight?
That's an actual fight.
Oh
That
my
starts
bad,
off
my
the card.
I thought you were just saying like a hypothetical matchup, and I was.
Oh, that's a fucking real fight, bro.
Okay, Kai Sakura, Tim Elliott.
Oh man, that's funny. It's a number 11 versus number 15. Kai Asakura lost to.
Kai Sakura. I'll go Kai Sakura.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. I look at they really rocked Kai Asakura right when he got to the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna fight fucking what's his name the champ. Why am I forgetting his name off the top of my head? Pantoja, yeah. Nope, not gonna happen. We just talked about Jared Cannonier versus Michael MVP. You got MVP, I got Jared Cannonier, right?
Yeah.
And okay, Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates.
I think this is one of those ones, yeah, for sure. It's a toss up for Prates.
You like Prates?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I like Prates too. I think it's gonna be a fight, but I think that left jab is just so deadly, and then that follow up, what I would love to see Prates do, because he low key that loss impressed me because he had give him another 10 seconds, he might have finished Ian Gary. He had moments he could have finished Ian Gary in that 5th round. Mm-hmm. He let him fucking slither out. I want to see more combos, bro. I just don't want to see that left. I want to see a left right kick. Like I want to see something else added to that arsenal. We know you got a deadly left. We know you got a deadly
hey, don't
left.
forget about that knee. He got that RDR knee.
But look at Ian Gary had a great game plan to alleviate that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not just saying that Jeff Neal will do that, but I want to see something else added, bro. If you're gonna I want to see a 1-2-3 kick.
Well, Jeff Neal, in my opinion, is an opponent where I think Prates can open up and maybe evolve and try some new things. So let's look out for that.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to see something else added. We know what you're really good at because you're elite at that.
You know how sometimes when you fight a really good guy, you might be stiffer. I think he might have been a little bit more stiff with Ian, meaning like just a little bit less willing to try things. I think, but
Ian was smart because he kept on throwing that high leg kick.
Exactly.
So having to block it.
Ian's got really high IQ, super high IQ.
Yes, he does. And so he took away his greatest asset. But then as the rounds cooked, he started kind of cooking a little bit. But like I said, I just want to see a couple things.
You know how like when you fucking I don't know if you ever done it, but it's like a thing they do in boxing. You shadow box with like 5-pound weights in your hands, right? And then when you drop the weights, you shadow box again, and your hands are lightning fast, right? I believe it's kind of like that. Like the reins are off for Prates right now. The reins were on against Ian because that's a really tough opponent. Sure. But Jeff, shorter, older, slower. It's like you just fought a guy like 10 times better than Jeff. So I think he's gonna feel comfortable in this fight. I think we'll see a pretty impressive Prates.
a pretty like explosive, yeah.
Coming from me, who's been, I'd be on Protez, but hey, like I say, it ain't no hate. It ain't no hate.
No.
So
I think it just went. Should we do a cliffhanger and give our predictions for the Hamzat DDP on next show?
No, let's do it now.
all right.
Yeah, let's do it now.
Hey, I'm just in the boat, bro.
Yeah, I like it now. Why not?
I'm just in the boat.
Do you want to lead it off as far as who you're leaning towards? It's a fucking tough one, bro.
Yeah, I think all the analysts, probably everybody's gonna say the same response. If it goes into deep waters, it's going DDP. If it's 1 or 2, Hamzat's taking it. He's just
I've been hearing that.
Yeah, if I were to make, I'm gonna go DDP.
Okay, I heard something today, and it's the take I agreed with the most, because I've been hearing that take you said as well, and it makes sense to me, but it's not one where I'm like, damn, it's going to happen like that. This is the take where I was like, damn, it's fucking going to happen like that. They're saying Khamzat's going to win 10-8 in the first, right?
Whoa.
And then DDP is going to win by decision.
See, I can see that.
That's so fucking, because like, to that point, if you're talking about Khamzat winning the first couple rounds, right, he always dominates. 10-8 isn't too unfathomable. But then you go the full distance, let's see what happens. But getting 10-8'd in the first and then winning a decision is kind of crazy.
Let me ask you this. If you were to take cardio, which fighter would you take cardio?
DDP.
Okay, so we got DDP 1.
But Khamzat's training at the training lab. You've been seeing that footage?
I've heard that. And I
heard Brendan, so that's like fucking...
And I heard Brendan Schaub, I think it was a week ago, was like he went to go see him live.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, nobody even wants to jump in a cage with him.
So like on paper, DDP, right? But Khamzat's been fucking working like crazy.
And I love that. I want to see that. I want to see that, right? Okay, so, but we still got DDP cardio. But if his Hamzat shows him like, hey, third, fourth round, and we're going to Doak Waters and he's still a dog, woo! That's going to be exciting to watch. Who do you give awkwardness towards?
DDP. Yeah, DDP.
Wrestling.
Khamzat.
Stand up.
It's a tough question. Because DDP, if you judge off of technique, right, he ugly.
Oh, yeah, super crazy.
Khamzat actually a little bit more pretty with the boxing.
Would it be crazy if Hamzat knocks out DDP? Would that be crazy?
Let me put it like this.
Yeah.
Khamzat, better boxer. DDP, better kickboxer.
Okay.
Just hands, I think Khamzat lights him up. But you got to keep in mind with DDP, he be teep kicking, leg kicking, body kicking. He'll just throw kicks anywhere. He has a ton of. And the way he mixes it up, it's just very hard, I think, to manage.
Okay, we'll leave it with this. Fight IQ. Who you giving fight IQ to?
DDP.
Yeah?
DDP. Yeah. I think that'll even be the bigger test. Not even cardio, right? Let's give him the respect and say Khamzat's been working on it. Let's say both guys, cardio won't be an issue going into the fight. They got endless gas tanks. Now, who got the mental gas tank? In my opinion, DDP. When we were talking about gas tank earlier,
we know he does.
We know he does. And when we were talking about gas tank earlier, and then we were talking about training lab, that popped in my mind instantly. I was thinking, it ain't about Khamzat and the physical heart rate. It's about is his mind sharp enough to last that 5 rounds, keep problem solving over 5 rounds, lose a round, maybe lose 2 rounds, maybe you have to win a round or you lose the fight. Can he deal with all that mental gymnastics? Because DDP can. He did it against Strickland.
He's proved it.
You know those rounds where it's a must-win round? That's exhausting mentally. Can you execute your techniques in that round?
Yeah. Because
you could be in that position. You could be in a must-win position in this fight, and I'm going to go with DDP if that position happens in this fight.
He has a lot of grit. A lot of grit.
Composure, too. Composure.
Yeah, mouthpiece. Who you give mouthpiece to?
What is that? Oh, who can talk shit?
Yeah.
I like them both. To be honest with you. Khamzat's good. Hopefully DDP can bring it out of Khamzat. Because I don't think Khamzat's going to start. That. Yeah. If Khamzat gets, if he gets bullied, or not bullied, what's the word when someone's like picking at you?
Bully?
If DDP starts prodding or picking at Khamzat, he'll set him off. Calms out. We'll talk some shit. That's all we need.
Right. All right, brother. Mm-hmm. That's all I got.
You bullshit win. You fight ugly, brother. You fight ugly.
Nobody
knows about you in South Africa, brother. I have training partners in California, brother. Olympic gold medalist.
I want to see some of that talk. Yeah, I want to see some of that talk.
It would be some good shit.
I want to see DDP bring it out because DDP super impressed me with his mouthpiece. Like
So what's DDP gonna say? What's that thing? Because if you're him, right? You're in DDP's camp. You got press conference next week. You know they're sitting back at home saying, "What do we got on Kamza?" Oh, you know what they're gonna get on Kamza? I bet you, the crypto scam. DDP bringing up all that.
Well, here's the funny thing.
Kadyrov, the dictator in Chechnya. He's bringing up all that.
Here's the funny thing is DDP though, he doesn't really start it, but he'll finish it because Sean Strickland kept going at him. Izzy was kind of going at him. You know what I mean? Like the whole narrative of it. In this instance, I don't know if Khamzat's really going to come at him.
I don't necessarily think he will.
Right. And so that's why I think this is interesting to say, okay, well, DDP to sell the fight, but like, all right, let me come at you. I am the champ. You know what I mean? Like, we'll sell tickets here. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see if he plays that game.
I think the only thing Khamzat will say, which is still good, you know, this is why trash talking doesn't even need to be so crazy. I could see Khamzat just being like, "How you think you're going to beat me, brother?" And that's just going to set DDP off himself. DDP's going to be like, "Bro, this ain't a wrestling match." Right, all that shit, you know? So let's see. It could go both ways. But the key is the confidence with both fighters. Somebody's going to test each other's confidence. That's what you can bet on. Because we're saying, like, hopefully it gets brought out. I can almost guarantee you. These two guys are too alpha, right, to not test the other's confidence and to not respond.
True.
Yeah. True. It's like fucking Ilya and Max Holloway. Ilya and the fucking Volkanovski.
Yeah.
All right, bro. That's the show then.
Good shit.
And then, just to put this out there, shout out to the homies in the chat. For all the boys watching, because we didn't have anything going on the last 2 days, I'm going to be streaming probably tomorrow. Well, here's the goal. I think I might do a 30-day consecutive stream.
Ooh,
30 days of streaming with JC.
Ooh, I like that.
On top of this stuff, on top of the regular programming, one stream every night, about an hour. Hit some topics.
All right. Tap in,
boys. All right, solid show. I think we didn't even do too many topics today. It was a lot of like fucking just chopping it up. But sometimes that's good too. I noticed some of the clips from last week, like that Bryce Mitchell one did decent. A couple other ones did decent.
Well, we went over the last one, the one that's coming up, and then we touched on that one. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, like,
but good conversation in between, because sometimes I feel like we stick to like topics, which is good too. But I like when there's like a good conversation that just we go on a riff.